Hey folks, how's it going? Long time no see, right? It's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and my apologies. Life gets in the way. Things you gotta take care of, but here we are. Let's get right into it. So I've got two clear guns here. Actions are open, no ammunition. You often see online, on forums, videos, people asking the differences between a Mossberg 590 and a Mossberg 590A1. Not a whole lot of differences, but the gist of it is the 590A1 has a thick-walled barrel as opposed to a normal thickness barrel, I guess. The 590A1 has a metal safety switch as opposed to a polymer safety switch on the 590. The A1 has a metal trigger guard as opposed to a polymer trigger guard on the base 590. The metal parts on the A1 are to maintain mil-spec status. The 590A1 serves in various aspects in the military, and that's to maintain their mil-spec status. The thick-walled barrel was if I understand correctly, a desire or requirement of the Navy. As guns are being moved around in naval vessels, ships, submarines, what have you, there's a lot of hard surfaces that if the barrel hits, they want it to not dent as readily as a normal thickness barrel. Other than that, the only other difference is the 590A1 says M590A1 on the side of the receiver. Other than that, they're pretty much identical. That's the gist of it. They have the same roll mark here on the bottom of the receiver. They both say Mossberg, North Haven, Connecticut, USA, 590, registered trademark, 12 gauge. Obviously, if you have a 20 gauge 590, it'll say 20 gauge. That's about it. What I don't see very often online is people asking about the technical weights and measurement differences. And that's what we're going to look at today. These are bare bones stock 590 and 590A1. This is on their website, Mossberg's website. This 590 is model, make sure I got it right, model 50778. 590A1 is model number 50766. These are both 7-shot shotguns, meaning 6 in the magazine tube and 1 in the chamber. They're both that way, 6 in the magazine tube, 1 in the chamber. Something to be aware of that might be a little different with your gun maybe is the model 50766, the 590A1, and I think the 590 as well. Early on, when they were first produced, I think 2016-ish, the magazine tubes were a little different. So this is a non-extension magazine tube. It's just one solid tube that will fit 6 in the tube. Early on, Mossberg, it's empty. Mossberg made, this is also a model number 50766, 590A1. They made a 5-shot magazine tube with a 1 extension. They didn't make the whole 6-round tube yet. So this could change weights, some measurements, maybe not a whole lot, but be aware this difference exists. They made the change from this to just the solid 6-round tube 2019, I think. I'm still doing some research on that because at some point I want to do a video of these two. But be aware that difference exists. Another thing to keep in mind with weights, the weight of a gun. So going back to this one, a standard corncob forend weighs slightly different than the corncob with tri-rail forend, which weighs slightly different than what Mossberg is producing on some of their guns now, the M-Lock forend. Your gun might also have been cut down for length of pull. Modifications may have been made. If you do want to see how to cut down and shorten the length of pull on one of these polymer stocks, check out this video somewhere. YouTube always changes it. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, so differences may exist with your gun. Someone may have changed a metal trigger guard out for a polymer one on a 590A1, vice versa. So, bare bones stock, as they came from the factory for quite a while, obviously they're making differences, making changes now. This is what we're going to compare. Mossberg 590 weighs 6 pounds, 5.3 ounces. 590A1 weighs 6 pounds, 14.1 ounces. That is a difference of 8.8 ounces, or about a half a pound. 16 ounces is a pound. All right, now for barrels. So here you can see the thick-walled barrel of the 590A1 versus the regular thickness of the 590. 590A1 barrel is 2 pounds, 4.3 ounces. 590 barrel, 1 pound, 13.7 ounces. That is a 6.55 ounce difference, or 0.41 pounds. Not quite half a pound difference. Now for trigger guard assemblies, we have the 590 polymer, 590A1 metal. 590A1 6.4 ounces. 590 4.15 ounces. That is a difference of 2.25 ounces. All right, next up is safeties. So I'm including the safety switch, the screw, and the little metal slider plate. 590A1 metal, 0.05 ounces. Polymer 590, 0.05 ounces. No difference. All right, so to recap on our weights, barrel weight difference was 6.55 ounces. Trigger guard assembly difference was 2.25 ounces. Add those together, you get 8.8 ounces, which was our initial difference of the fully assembled firearms. And I apologize to you folks who don't use the Imperial/American system of pounds and ounces. If you're watching this on anything, that means you also have access to the internet, and you can Google the equivalent in grams and kilograms, I guess. But yeah, so I did want to talk a little bit more about barrels. Okay, so here are your barrels. Here's your 590 and your 590A1 thick wall. These barrels are interchangeable on guns. A 590 will fit on a 590A1. 590A1 will fit on a 590, and that's because the extension piece that goes into the receiver is the exact same on both. It's just kind of that Mossberg 500 style that will fit in any like 500 series gun. Could be wrong on that. There's always exceptions to rules, so don't quote me on that. 590 A1, your outer diameter of your barrel is 0.94 inches. Outer diameter on your 590, and you can already see a minute difference there. And sorry about the glare if you can't see the readout. Get to the end. 0.86, 0.87, 0.86. And that gives us a difference of 0.08, which you saw is only that much. Inner diameter, 590A1, 0.74. Inner diameter, 590, 0.74. Same inner diameter. Wall thickness, 0.11 and 0.06. Difference of about 0.05. I include those measurements of the outer diameter, inner diameter, and wall thickness of the muzzle because those are very important measurements if you ever want to install screw-in chokes. These are just cylinder bore constriction, but if you ever want to screw a choke in there or make it so you can, there has to be enough meat for the tool and the threading to occur. I do plan on trying to, I'll probably send it out, but I do plan on getting one or both of these choked for future videos, so be sure to stay tuned. Next measurement is going to be length of pull. If you remember from previous videos, length of pull is the measurement from the trigger face to the end of the buttstock and recoil pad, which is 14 3/8 and 14 3/8. These are both the same, which is 14 3/8, which is 14.375 inches. Can't remember if I already mentioned it, but if you want to see how to shorten this length of pull, if this is too long for you from the factory, check out this video here, wherever, or link in the description for that video. All right, next up is barrel length. I know all of these measurements are on Mossberg's website. Most measurements are, but it's always nice to check because sometimes they fudge the truth a little bit. So barrel length is measured from the bolt face. It's not like you don't take a measurement from here or try to like eyeball it from here. Bolt face to end of the barrel. So get a dowel rod or something to go up against that bolt face of a closed bolt, obviously. And these are the exact same. And then you'll measure from where that rod was hitting your bolt face to the line you made. This is 18 and almost 5/8. So I'm going to call that 18 and 9/16. Just barely over 9/16. If you can even see that on the camera. So Website says 18.5. It's virtually 18.5. It's not enough to make a difference. A couple 16ths of an inch doesn't matter. Unless you're the ATF, then a couple 16ths of an inch do matter. All right, well, that about does it for the differences, some technical specs between the 590 and 590A1. If there is something that I didn't get to that you would like an answer to, and differences, drop it down in the comments and I will reply with the answer. Doesn't happen to be anything silly and frivolous like, well, what's the difference between the weight and the triggers? They're the same. We kind of went over all the major, huge differences, but if there's a legit spec that I didn't get to that you would like to know the difference, let me know and I'll get back to it. I have loads of videos that I want to get to. I want to do some stuff with old Winchester shotguns, Beretta 92s, some Beretta 92 mods, some shotgun mods, weapon conservation, maintenance, upkeep, restorations, loads of videos, lots of cool ideas that I want to get to. So if you subscribe, I'll be sure to upload a video every once in a while. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.